Hi guys, welcome back. So in preparation for our test tomorrow, let's review how to solve a system of equations by graphing. I'm looking at problem number 2. We solved problem number 1 today in class. Go team. Okay, so like we said in class, you're right. When I look at something that looks like these two equations, I do not know how to solve them really. I don't know how to graph them really. Most of the time, I only know how to graph things when they're in this form, y equal mx plus b. Okay, well, fortunately, we have been working really hard to turn equations into what we want them to be, to get letters by themselves, to get numbers by themselves, to kind of manipulate equations. Let's start with this first one. I'm going to use purple, I think. All right, so we've got 3x minus 4y equals 16. And I'd like to get y by itself. Well, what's happening to y right now? Looks like we're timesing by a negative 4. I know that because they're smushed together. The negative 4 and the y are smushed together, so I know that we're timesing. And then it also looks like we've got a positive 3x over here. We don't write the positive most of the time, so if there's nothing there, we assume it's positive. Okay, so it looks like we've got two things that are happening to the y, and so there will be two steps to undo what's happening to the y. Let's start with this positive 3x. How do I undo positive 3x? I will minus 3x from both sides. Because I can't do something on one side without doing it to the other. So these guys cancel. I've got 3 x's, and I take away 3 of them, so I'm left with 0x. 0x is the same as just 0, and we don't really need to include a 0 in this scenario. So I'm going to copy down the 4y equals. A lot of kids right here would put 13x. That is not right. The 16 does not have an x behind it. If the 16 had an x behind it, or this 3 did not have an x behind it, that would make these two like terms. Since they are not like terms, it is against the rule for me to combine them. So I can't combine them. Since I can't combine them, I'm just going to write them side by side. All right, perfect. On to my next step, my last thing here that's happening to this y. And by the way, this is looking pretty close to y equal mx plus b form. We're getting there. Y is almost by itself. Here we've got negative 4 times y. How do I get rid of a negative 4 times? I'll divide by negative 4. I got to divide that whole side by negative 4. I'm going to use the heart method to know what little division problems should be happening here. It kind of looks like a heart. Okay, so these guys cancel. I'm left with y equals 16 divided by negative 4, and I'm going to kind of split up the heart, minus 3x divided by negative 4. Okay, well, this first part's pretty easy, 16 divided by negative 4. If you aren't sure, you can type it into a calculator. I'm pretty sure that is going to be negative 4 for my answer to that one. Now, 3 and 4 don't really divide super easily, so I'm going to leave them as 3/4. In this scenario, I don't really want to turn those into a decimal answer. When I'm graphing, I like fractions because slopes are fractions, so that's pretty good. However, I do know that a negative and a negative becomes a positive. So I'm going to put positive, and then I'm going to make sure I drop down the x with that. Now, I am not going to do anything to change my answer. I am going to reverse the order of everything, just so that it looks a little bit more like y equal mx plus b. All right, go team, let's graph this. Remember, M stands for slope, my slope, and B stands for beginning point. Oh, there's the bell. So my beginning point is going to be here at negative 4. That's my y-intercept. The y-intercept means it's going to cross on the y-axis. Okay, and then since slope is rise over run, meaning how far up and down do I go over how far left and right do I go. Let's see. On top it says a positive 3. That means I'm going to go up 3. On bottom it says a positive 4. That means I'm going to go right 4. Okay, so let's go up 3, right 4. That's basically all the points we can put on here. Drawing our line, we are good to go. Alrighty, this one I'm going to write in blue. So I've got 5x plus 4y equals 16. Okay, again, what's happening here, what's stopping the y from being by itself? We're timesing by 4 and have a positive 5x. What's the opposite of positive 5x? Minus 5x. Those cancel. So I end up with, oh, excuse me, positive 4y. That was my bad. So 4y equals negative 5x plus 16. You may have noticed I did a different order here. It's okay, as long as I keep the 16 positive and I keep the negative 5x negative, which I did. Negative 5x, positive 16. Okay, last thing we need to do here, what's the opposite of timesing by 4? Dividing by 4. I'm going to divide everything by 4 on this side and use the heart method to know what is going to be divided individually. Okay, these guys cancel. I get y equals negative 5x plus, negative 5x divided by 4 plus 16x, just 16 divided by 4. Okay, again, I want to leave this as a fraction because that's a pretty good slope. So I'll have y equals negative 5 divided by 4x, and then 16 divided by 4, well, that's just going to be 4. Okie dokie. Looks like my beginning point is here at 4, right here. And then according to this slope, it's negative on top. If it's negative on top, I'll go down 5. And if it's positive on bottom, I'll go right 4. So down 5, right 4. Now remember, what I'm looking for is a place where they cross. The place where they cross on this problem, it looks like it'll be, and remember we write it as a coordinate point, x, y. Looks like it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and 1 down, so negative 1. Okay, and here's our answer. Okay, let me know if you need help on this one or on any of the other graphing ones. I'd be happy to help you. Talk to you later.